Gang, welcome to the CB vlog. If you like these videos, please hit subscribe. If you love these videos, feel free to go to patreon.com/commandersbrew, throw a couple bucks my way, our way. We have Ryan here from Commander Cookout, who's going to help us discuss a very important moment in our friendship, quote unquote, when a deep betrayal happened between us. So Ryan, what are we talking about today? We are going to, I brought you on with an ulterior motive, must admit. I'm happy to talk about all this stuff, but I want to talk about what happened in GP Vegas last year.
I don't know what you're talking about. We were playing a game and we were...
Yes, you do.
And there was some deals that were made, and I feel like it's politics, and it's in the past, and we can't change the past, and that's it.
Okay, I mean, this is true. You can't change the past, but we can learn from it. So this is what I want to do. So for those, just in case they haven't, any listeners or viewers haven't heard us talk about this in a little while, let's set the scene. So this is GP Las Vegas last year, and you and Brando came down from the Commander Cookout podcast, and you set up something called a Traxable, which tell us what a Traxable was all about.
So what it was all about, yeah. It started off, we had, I think Brando and I were talking to the guys from CMDR Central, another podcast. They're great. Listen to them if once you're done with Commander's Brew and Commander Cookout, and they're like third string, kind of sometimes only get played, sometimes when you're already up by 10 points. You can listen to those guys. And we were saying, hey, like, we're better than you. We'll beat you. Let's make these decks that we hate. And they were like, yeah, you're on. You're going down. You suck. It's just fun trash talk, right?
Right.
And I think that Brando and I contacted you guys.
Yes.
And then somehow Commander and MTG podcast got involved as well. And Phil DeLuca, Patrick Sapola from Commander Time podcast got involved as well. And then Legendary Creature podcast got involved. So all these Commander podcast content creator people got involved, and a bunch of the rules got kind of muddled and everybody kind of just did whatever. But we called it a Traxable because the commander of every deck in both pods was a Traxa.
Right.
And everybody had a theme. To start with, everybody had a theme. Like mine and Brando's was alternate win conditions.
Okay.
Somebody else was weird counters, like +2/+1 counters.
That's right. That was our pod. That was our pod, right?
Yeah. And
Who ran that deck?
That was Patrick Sapola.
Okay.
Nate Burgess he was also in our pod. He had like make all your stuff swamps.
Yeah,
and then kill all swamps type thing.
Yeah, it was a really there was some very interesting takes. Well, before we get into specific decks, so everyone had ours was a legendary tribal, like all the creatures were legendary with stuff. It's so interesting to see how people approached the issue of different Atraxa decks, and there was no just straight up super friends, except for, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, that was one of the rules, right? There were no super friends decks, no +1/+1 counters, and no infect.
Right.
And coincidentally, everybody in our pod knew those rules. The other pod kind of got the shaft a little bit because there was some random that just showed up and had super friends, and then Ryan Green and Phil DeLuca showed up and they had an infect deck. And of course, the infect deck is the one that won the other pod, right?
Right.
But super interesting when all four commanders are the same. Even just strictly based on the colors of the deck, you know that you're dealing with a deck that has no red in it.
Right.
So all of a sudden, I played a card called Reap. It's regrowth, but you get a thing back from your graveyard for each black permanent your opponents control.
Right, which is such a genius piece of tech.
If everybody had an Atraxa on the battlefield, I go green 1, get 3 permanents back from my graveyard. It was great.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Like there's a very good chance there's more black permanents out there.
Yeah, that was it. My big engine that I had set up in the game was I had a reap and a regrowth, both get me things back from my graveyard. Then I had a diabolic tutor.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I diabolic tutor and search for whatever I wanted to play, cast my regrowth to get like a land, like a fetch land or something back, and then I cast my reap to get everything back.
Amazing.
And then I cast my regrowth to get my reap back. Like it was great. It was great.
Yeah, and I remember that game playing out. So okay, so then let's get into the game. So who was at our table?
And you remember, this was a game,
Yeah.
not a backstabbing, not a mutiny. This is a game.
No, this is supposed to be a friendly game, right? This is a little. Then the winners of the pods, I assume, we're gonna pair up and we'll play who has the champion Atraxa deck for the thing. But so at our table at the beginning, it was Phil. Yeah, so it was me. I was running the Legendaries Tribal Atraxa. You were running
Yep.
alternate win conditions Atraxa.
That's right.
And then it was, help me out. It was Nate running the sort of weird, like, I don't know. He was up to something fishy. He puts clever decks together, that fella. And
very
it
much
was
so.
Patrick
Yep.
running odd counters, like some
Odd counters
plus
like
one plus twos and like
Frankenstein's monster and Greater Werewolf and stuff. That,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you could choose +1 +2 counters or +2 +1 counters. Like what did they? What?
Yeah, yeah. And so if I recall correctly, we were all had a decent start, except I think Patrick was stumbling on mana a little bit, so he was kind of unable to really get in the game. I think I threw out a legendary or two. You had a little bit going on, and then the game started to get a little bit scary when Nate put out, was it Cormus Bell that made all of the land swamps?
Cormus Bell. That's right.
Yeah, and
I know it makes all swamps 1/1s.
right.
And
Before
he
that,
had an Urborg out.
yes, and he also had
So-
something that was whenever we taps. No, an enchantment that if you tap this swamp, destroy it and then put it on another swamp. So we were gonna
yeah.
just destroy. We would destroy our own lands by using them.
Yeah, and I think there was a counter, like a very well timed counter spell by somebody as well, where Nate had his Urborg and his Cormus Bell, and then he went to like Wrath the Board or something.
Yeah.
And or maybe it was a bounce spell or something. And somebody bounced the Cormus spell because he was going to Wrath the Board and get everybody's lands were going to go. And I think maybe you bounced or Patrick countered something.
No, it was me, and I believe I did. I believe I did that. Pay 3 life, 1 black, white, exile a permanent. Anguished
that's right.
Unmaking. Yeah.
You anguished the Cormus Bell, so it just swept the board of all creatures, not all creatures and land.
Right. So I think I did the table a big favor there. I think I did a really good thing for the table.
Yeah, so how does Nate backstab you after that? He goes Thada Adele, hits you with it because it's got Island Walk, and we're all playing islands because we're playing Atraxa, right?
Yeah.
So he's queuing onto the same kind of techie thing that I did, is everybody's got islands, right? So he steals your Soul Ring. Because, I mean, that's what you steal, right? You already had your Helm of the Host in play, and you were starting to run away with the game because you had 2 or 3 Atraxas.
That's true. Yeah, I was building it up.
This point is going to be important in a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Nate stole my Soul Ring. Fine.
Yep.
And then the game comes back to me, and I have multiple Atraxas. I've been doing a little bit of damage. I took a little bit of life off, but these 3 proliferate triggers, this was a key moment because you had proposed a deal with me.
Well, hold on a sec.
Okay.
Nate steals your Soul Ring. The next turn, I cast a Coalition Relic when it came to me.
Right.
It went Nate, me, Patrick, you. So
That's
you
right.
were across the table from me.
That's right.
And I played my thing, make a mana, do some whatever, reap and regrowth, and some just garbage thing because I'm bad. And it comes back to Nate again, and he hits me, and he gets my Soul Ring now. So he's got both our Soul Rings and like 25 extra mana, and he's doing something fishy, as you say, right?
Yes.
So then it gets back to you. This
Yes.
is when you have the 2 or 3 Atraxas, because you can proliferate my Coalition Relic from 1 counter up to 3 counters.
Yeah, so you get a boost of mana on your turn. I mean, Coalition Relic tells us that you have to use all that mana anyway, but like you would use it. And I thought, well, here's where the deal comes in. What will you do for me? I can't just do that for nothing. And I am a proponent. If you listen to our How to Make Deals vlog, I like to ask for things that I don't like to ask for don'ts. I like to ask for do's. For example, I won't attack you isn't a great deal in my opinion because you might not attack anyway. But I believe it was, oh, I'll get you your Sol Ring back. And I'm like, well, there you go. Like that's a solid deal. Like I want that. And then I'll cast it myself and then I'll be doing great. So that seemed like a fair deal to me.
I agree. And you know what? I mean, who doesn't want a Sol Ring, right?
Yeah.
And
I
you
wanted that
and
back.
Andy were kind of in a rush to get out of there. And nobody likes playing against that Adele. And we didn't want to run the game too long. So my turn comes around and I got my thing proliferated 2 or 3 times. And that gave me like 11 mana on my turn. So I cast me some Biovisionary.
Yep.
Which says at the end of turn, if you control 4 Biovisionaries, you win the game.
Yep.
And then I go kicked Rite of Replication off of the 3 extra mana that you gave me. And asked everybody, does it resolve? And everybody's like, yep, we're all playing blue Atraxa colors, but nobody can counter anything or like destroy any of your creatures.
I mean, I could have, but I used it on the Karma spell a little while ago.
Yeah, well, and I mean, it's a good thing you did because I moved to my end step and Biovisionary triggered and saw that there was 4 other Biovisionary triggers or Biovisionaries on the battlefield, and I won the game.
Well, okay, now see, here's where I want to disagree because at this point, the deal was I would get my Sol Ring back, and I did not pass priority until I asked you the question, yo, where's my Sol Ring?
Well, this is where we might have a disagreement in that when I move to my end step of my Biovisionary triggers and I win the game and you pack your cards and shuffle them back into your deck, you take your Sol Ring from Nate Burgess's battlefield and you put it into your own deck.
But that doesn't count. That's not a deal because that's just how it works. Like, I will always get my Sol Ring back when the game ends. You didn't do that. You didn't give me my Sol Ring back. The fact that I own it and that's how the rules work is what gave it back. You didn't do anything for me.
I didn't break any rules, and this is what I said. I said, Sean, you're in the showbiz community. Don't you know to read the fine print on your contracts before you sign in ink?
I guess I
don't. And you kind of just slumped back in your chair and just said, I thought all Canadians are supposed to be nice.
Yeah.
Or something to that effect.
Yeah, right. We were deep in the heart of America, Las Vegas, Nevada. I thought, well, surely here's Ryan. I know I can trust Ryan. We've got this Canadian thing that we share. Surely that's worth more than mismanagement of the wording of a deal, but I guess not. I guess that.
Is it worth more than a Sol Ring? Is it worth more than becoming the champion of Atraxable? Nothing. Nothing is worth that.
Nothing is worth.
Nothing.
Nothing's worth becoming champion.
I will sell you down the river 100 more times to win Atraxable. 100 more times.
Oh my god! You know what?
No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
Of course, you have to say that now. But I've learned my lesson, and I will make sure I will concoct some deals in my mind to use in the future that have the most sinister loopholes in them.
Listen, you know what? In all honesty, we were talking the other day, and that moment in history. You know, you only get what's the guy on Deadpool say? You only get 4 or 5 moments in your life, right?
Yeah.
That can make you a hero. Well, you only get 4 or 5 moments in your life that will actually change your life forever. And Andy's probably having one right now.
Sure.
I had one in Atraxable in Vegas last year when I gave you your Sol Ring back.
Yeah.
And now nobody ever believes me. Ever. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, now was it worth it? Was that worth it?
Yeah, whenever I make deals now, people have like their lawyer over their shoulder and he whips out this big contract that's 4 inches thick and I just got to read through it all. And by the end, it's like, oh yeah, you just want me to not attack you. Okay, I got it. Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, I should do that. I should create a PDF with like fill in the blanks with like big like 3-paragraph clauses that say the following but not including to.
Yeah, 100%. But really, it's just going to be one of those Mad Lib books from like the 90s.
Yeah. I love
You know, where
Mad
you
Libs.
just pick a word and you have to like pick an adjective,
Yeah.
pick a verb.
Player name. Promise
Yeah.
to game
That's
action.
exactly it.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, Ryan, it's I'm glad we had the chance to talk that through. I feel better having gotten your side of it. I
don't know if you do.
Well, it still burns inside me. I feel glad that we had a chance to talk about it one-on-one like this. I think that is a good thing to do. I am still seething. I am still burnt on the inside. And I don't know if that will ever heal, but I'm willing to play again, if for nothing more than to get my sweet, sweet revenge.
To actually get your Soul Ring back. You know what I have to do now? I have to build a deck with a Thada Adele or like an Acquire or something that lets me steal a Soul Ring. And then I have to find some way to give it back to you. Yeah. That's what I need to do now.
What if I never play Soul Ring against you?
Oh, no.
Then you can never finish the deal.
That is next level. Then I'll play Donate or like Harmless Offering.
Oh, yeah.
Then I'll find some way to backstab you with Harmless Offering.
Probably. Such a cute kitty. Okay, great.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Man, thanks for listening, everybody. Ryan, thanks for hashing that out. Please leave us a comment of maybe what your biggest betrayal moment you've ever experienced was. These make for the greatest stories, as angry as we can be. But we'll catch you next time. Big thanks to all our patrons who make these episodes possible.
Yeah, and if you want to check out more comedy videos, check out our Brews News playlist.
Make sure you follow us on Twitch TV to see when we play live.
If you want to chat with us, head over to Twitter. We're at Commanders Brew.
And please hit subscribe to ding the bell and find out when we got new stuff coming out.
See you next time.
Bye.